What would you consider to be the most female empowering song of all time? Well, it's Tuesday evening, and on this channel that can only mean one thing: Top 10 Tuesdays. I'm Linda. This is Linda's World. This is Top 10 Tuesdays, episode 5. And tonight, we're counting down the top 10 female empowerment songs in rock and pop music history. Now, if you're new to my channel, Top 10 Tuesdays is a weekly series where I sit in my bedroom chair, usually, and we discuss, well, top 10s. So, if you would like to know my picks for the top 10 female empowerment songs ever, if you have a list in your head already and you want to see if we match, or if you have an idea of what you think the number one song is going to be, well, just stay tuned because this list gets started right now. Before our countdown begins, I would like to issue an official apology to my viewers about something that is kind of the opposite of female empowerment, ironically. My appearance in last week's Top 10 Tuesdays video. Last week, I filmed a Top 10 Tuesdays entitled Top 10 Foods I Hate That Everyone Seems to Love. I filmed it in my kitchen. I was looking for a new place to film and I figured kitchen, food, you know. Here's the thing I hadn't counted on. The lighting in my kitchen is, what's the word I'm looking for? Crap. And so the way that my makeup looked incredibly unblended on a pale face or whatever, it made me look, I can honestly say that I most closely resembled a dying chimney sweep who'd been punched by his boss. Okay. And for some reason I looked like I had brown hair. As you can plainly see, I do not. And it was absolutely abysmal, and it ruined the entire aesthetic of the video. And it's weird because it didn't appear that way on my camera. It didn't appear that way on iMovie, on my MacBook. It just didn't appear at all until it was uploaded to YouTube, and I watched myself, as I do after I film a video. I always take a look at what you guys see. And I didn't know what to say. Basically, I went like this. So I can absolutely attest to the fact that I do not look like that. And I actually pinned a comment underneath the video in apology, but I'm not sure how many of you guys actually read all the comments on a video, or you just, watch what you watch and move on. So if you're watching this, I'm sorry. And I took special pains to look nice for you this evening. So, just saying. On with the countdown. Now, number 10 is a song that is rather old, but it is a song that is absolutely in my I play this at least once a day list, and it has been on every iPod I've ever owned, even back in the days of the teeny tiny one that held 100 songs. And I absolutely love it. And number 10 is Different Drum by Linda Ronstadt and the Stone Ponies. Different Drum is interesting because it takes the usual I'm not ready for a commitment thing, that conversation that men and women have together, and it flips it on its ear because it's the woman who's not ready for commitment. She literally sings the lyric, "Don't get me wrong, it's not that I knock it, it's just that I am not in the market for a boy who wants to love only me. And I ain't saying you ain't pretty, all I'm saying, I'm not ready for any person, place, or thing to try to pull the reins in on me." Right? Okay, she's not prepared to make such a commitment. And so she goes on to say, "Goodbye, I'll be leaving. I see no sense in this crying and grieving. We'll both live a lot longer if you live without me." You should really find a girl who's more into the traditional construct of a relationship at this moment. If you're ready to get married, that's wonderful for you. I'm not. So before this goes any further, and before we get deeper connected to each other and our feelings get even more hurt when we eventually break off, why don't we break off today so that we could save each other the grief? I'm not prepared to have the reins pulled in on me yet, so I'll be leaving, right? And I love that, and it's my theme song, and it's a song that I should have sung to a certain somebody 7 years ago, and it's just absolutely fantastic, and that is why it is number 10. And P.S. Linda Ronstadt is an absolutely stellar, awesome vocalist, and I love her very much. Number 9 is a hell of a lot more recent of a song, and you guys have heard me mention this song a couple of times in videos when I discuss music, because it is God is a Woman by Ariana Grande. Oh, Ariana Grande. It is absolutely my favorite song of hers, by any stretch of the imagination. And I've said so in a previous video, top 10 Ariana Grande songs. The reason I love it so much is because of its female empowerment. I mean, I like the way it sounds, but the female empowerment message is twofold. It is in the music and in the video. Okay. Now in the music, it's actually got a sexual connotation to it. The lyrics of the song. Its basis is in sex. It is saying that basically the premise is, hey, says the narrator, when the two of us go into the bedroom this evening and do adult activities together, I'm going to wow you with my abilities to such a degree that you'll believe God is a woman when all is said and done. Right? And that's really cool. And I love the fact that it breaks the traditional model of, the outmoded idea of sex is something that a man does to a woman. No, it is, that's what rape is. Sex is when a man or woman engages in sexual behavior with a man or woman. It's two people or more, engaging in sexual behaviors together with consent. It is not something that's inflicted upon us. It's not, like in the 30s and 40s and 50s, it was called, our wifely duties. Oh, you have to lay still here and take it because your husband's going to want sex tonight. Oh, what a chore it is to always have sex. And so I love that Ariana broke that mold, in 2018 with God as a Woman. And then, of course, there's the video. Now, I'm not going to pontificate too much because I said it already in the video before. I said it when I listed it as my favorite song of hers, okay? But the tiny version of that is the fact that all of the stereotypical paintings and biblical lore and myths about woman being the creator of all things in the universe, like famous biblical paintings and whatever, are reenacted in the video until finally, in gladiator suit, Ariana goes with her gavel, and throws it and literally shatters the glass ceiling. Okay, metaphor? Check. Right. And she does this while Madonna says those lines from, it's biblical, but it's also from Pulp Fiction most recently, the thing about, and I will lay my vengeance upon you, and you will know my name is the Lord.
Poison and destroy my sisters, and you will know my name is the Lord. When I lay my vengeance upon you.
That is so incredibly stunning of symbolism. And I'm an English teacher and I appreciate symbolism that holy cow, female empowering? I think so. And that's why it's number 9. Number 8, we go back to the old school again, because number 8 is You Don't Own Me by Leslie Gore. You Don't Own Me is a fantastic song, and it's been covered before, and I think its most recent claim to fame was in 1996, The First Wives Club, and that infamous, beautiful scene, which actually Ariana Grande reenacted at the end of Thank You Next in the performances during the Sweetener Tour, when Goldie Hawn, Bette Midler, and Diane Keaton, 3 strong women who I absolutely adore and always have loved all my life, put on their white jackets over their white outfits after the charity fundraiser for their battered women in the name of their friend Cynthia Swan Griffin, who had been played by Stockard Channing at the beginning, who took her own life when her husband traded her in for a newer model, and she was left 40-something and alone and broken, and there they are, the 3 of them, in that grand dance, and don't tell me what to say, and don't tell me what to do down the street, and when I go out with you, don't put me on display. I'm young, and I love to be young, and I'm free, and I love to be free, to live my life the way that I want, to say and do whatever I please. I don't know that there is a more succinct message than you don't own me, because you don't. Humans don't own other humans. At least they haven't since slavery was abolished in 1863, so I really don't see how anybody could not appreciate the empowering message of that song. But that's me. Okay. Number 7. My apologies, because Ariana's coming out again. Ariana Grande Miley Cyrus and Lana Del Rey teamed up for the number 7 song, Don't Call Me Angel. It is the soundtrack single to the updated reboot of Charlie's Angels with Elizabeth Banks, the one that she made that flopped. And Elizabeth Banks had been quoted as saying that it was that people in society aren't ready to see female leads in an action movie, with a female director. And I completely agree with that, except that I'm not sure that that's why the movie tanked. I'm not sure it was great, But then again, I must really watch and check it out, right? Nevertheless, the number 7 song. Now, Ariana, Miley, and Lana sing Don't Call Me Angel, which literally says, ain't from no heaven. Yeah, you heard me right. Even though we fly, don't call me angel. The best verse, I think, for female empowerment is Miley's, when she says, don't call me angel when I'm a mess. Don't call me angel when I got undressed. Okay? Call me by my name. Call me some other form of endearment, but I'm not an angel. That's some mythical creature that doesn't exist. I'm a human person. I know I'm a woman, but I'm not an angel, because that would be implying that I have this weird mythical perfection, And she goes on to say, I make my money and I write the checks, so say my name with a little respect. All our girls are successful, and you're just our guest, right? And that's the thing. It's that we, in the age of Me Too and Time's Up, right? It is absolutely wonderful that there's a song for young people, because middle-aged women like us either know this or we don't, okay? Women who are older than me, generation of my mother and up, right? They either know it or they don't, okay? But young people who are going to listen to artists like Ariana and Miley, I'm so happy that they hear this, because I'm so happy that they know that we're not somebody's angel. We are human people. And that it is wonderful if a man wants to call us an endearing name, but that shouldn't be what defines us. I make my money and I write the checks, so say my name with a little respect. I can't tell you how many females I know are single-handedly supporting their households, with their men giving no contribution at all. And I see absolutely nothing wrong with women being the breadwinner. I mean, I almost prefer it. So I'm not trying to say that. I'm the least woman to ask you for your money. But the concept of people I know doing that, well, they still have to take care of the household stuff, like washing the dishes and diapering the children, because the husband can't do that. That's woman's work. But it's like, well, you're home all day. I'm working, so role reversal? Or no, I'm sorry, I'll do everything. Okay? And so it's just, I find it a little despicable. And I'm sorry I've gone on this tangent, but it's true. Don't call me angel when I'm a mess. Don't call me angel when I get undressed. There's so many other things you can call me. There's lots of terms of endearment I like that don't belittle me. So, there you go. Even though we fly, don't call me angel. The number 6 spot. The number 6 spot is a song that I weighed for a while on how high to put it, because it is a very contemporary song. It came out about 3 years ago, and the artist in question may be a little poo-pooed, because she is a dance pop type of person, but the song is a hell of a lot more serious, and the whole album is a hell of a lot more serious. It is Woman by Kesha. Okay. Now, on that album, that was a few years ago, there was some talk in the media about Kesha calling attention to her Me Too experience. Her manager had been sexually abusing her, and she wrote the song Praying, and that's the ballad, which is the softer version of, I hope you realize what you've done and you come to terms with who you are and how the pain you've inflicted on me and others, and I hope you're somewhere on your knees praying and asking for forgiveness. Well, Woman is the empowering one, which is why it's number 6. Okay? I'm a motherfucking woman, which is bleeped out on the radio. I don't, all right, I don't need a man to be holding me too tight. And she just basically indicates that she's a person, and if you want to be with her, that's great, but she's not waiting for your call, That's the thing about all these songs. We're halfway through the list here, and I feel like I should say, these songs aren't beating men over the head with a frying pan, okay? It's not, hey men, you suck, go away. It's not like that. We're like, hey, old construct of what men and women ought to be. You suck, go away, okay? I'm a heterosexual woman, and I like to be heterosexual, and, I'm not It's not because all men suck and should be locked in some closet and set on fire. That's not the case. I actually believe that true feminism begins with little boys. Setting male people up at the beginning of their lives with the fact that they can emote something that is not just anger and rage, that they don't have to be strong 24/7 physically and emotionally, and if they have a weak moment, they shouldn't be made to man up, because 30-40 years of that bottled in, and no wonder there's domestic violence. If that's the only way you know how to communicate your feelings is rage, because that's the only emotion that your old school dad told you was acceptable, right? Then no wonder women are making songs like Praying, like no wonder we have to sing songs like Woman and Don't Call Me Angel. So true feminism begins with men, with boys. I honestly believe that. And we're halfway through the list. Number 5. I should have put higher. I admit. I think I messed up. I love this song. Number 5 is Superwoman by Alicia Keys. Oh, I absolutely love it. For all the mothers out there fighting for better days to come, and all the women out there trying to make it home before the sun, and the chorus, the unbelievably beautiful chorus, after she says, "I hang my head in sorrow from the weight of humanity," she says, I think I'm paraphrasing that lyric there, she says, "What makes me cry most?" The song makes me cry. She says, "'Cause I am Superwoman. Yes, I am. Yes, I will. Even when I'm a mess, I still put on a vest with an S on my chest. Oh, yes, I'm a Superwoman." I'm getting tearful just now, because that's what we do. That's what makes it. That's why I'm making this video. That's why these songs are good, because she's literally saying, she's like, think about what it is that we go through. Just as men do. Men, people go through troubles. It's not only women have troubles, but we just get dumped on and dumped on and dumped on and dumped on by people we know, people we don't know, by our own friends, because females don't know how to be friends with other females often, by the men in our lives who expect us to be Superwoman and wear a damn cape, and by our bosses and our sisters and our our aging parents that we have to take care of, and the roles are reversed now, and our millennial children, who are still living at home with us because times are different. And there's a middle-aged woman thing out there where women are turning to alcohol and opiates, who are about 45, because they just can't take it. The meme, I can't even, we can't even, it's like we have the pressure from the younger and older people. We can't retire yet and give jobs to the millennials because the economy crashed when Gen Xers got into it, and the baby boomers are getting ill now and they need our help. And, and we don't know where to put it, and we're freaking out. But what do? When we're a mess, we put on the vest with the S on our chest, and we do it. As a middle-aged woman, I can honestly tell you that several hundred times a day, I think, oh God, I can't do this. But you know what I do? I do it anyway. Because I'm Superwoman. Thank you, Alicia Keys. I'm sorry I cried. Number 4 is a song that I cannot believe is almost 20 years old. I remember when the song came out. I love it, and it is actually also a Charlie's Angels song. It's from the Charlie's Angels with Lucy Liu and Cameron Diaz and Drew Barrymore back in 2000, I think. That was 20 years ago. I'm old. Well, no more beating around the bush. The song is Independent Woman by Destiny's Child. Still to this day, I still get chills when I think about the lyrics to that song. I remember being a brand new teacher and being driven to work by my friend Roseanne, and that song was on the radio a lot at 7 in the morning when we were in her car headed for the bagel store, and the shoes on my feet, I bought it. The watch I'm wearing, I bought it. I think I'm forgetting something, because I depend on me if I want it. The watch I'm wearing, the car I'm driving, the house I live in, I depend on me. All the women are independent, throw your hands up at me. All the honeys making money, and I'm doing a bad job singing the song. All the mamas are prophets out loud. Okay, I'm stopping now. But, that's the thing, I buy my own, I pay my own bills, always 50-50 in relationships, only ring your celly while I'm feeling lonely. When it's all over, please get up and leave. And it's very much like Don't Call Me Angel. It's that, it's funny that the movies are like that. Destiny's Child was the 2000s version of the stuff that I mentioned previously. A generation ago, when I was a brand new teacher, the teenage girls that I knew were listening to this stuff, and I was so happy. And I remember having a conversation with Roseanne, my friend, in the car, about how we were so happy that there's these songs now that girls could listen to realize that they don't need to grow up and marry a prince. That like Frozen, they could be their own Ilsa, and they could get it done. That it's not about men. It's not against them. It just doesn't have to be for them. The shoes on my feet, I bought it. The clothes I'm wearing, I bought it. Because I depend on me if I want it. Everything I've ever bought is mine. Because since I was 14 years old, I've earned a living. And if I wanted stuff, I bought it. Because I depend on me if I want it. That's it. And thank you, Destiny's Child, for giving me a beautiful song to reminisce about, even though it's 20 years old and I feel like such an old lady. We're getting there. This song's from my generation. This song, I remember the first time I heard it, and I thought, did I just hear that? Did that person just say every single thing that I'm thinking? Is that person real? That person was Gwen Stefani. The group was No Doubt. And the song is Just a Girl. Take this pink ribbon off my eyes. I'm exposed, and it's no big surprise. Don't you think I know exactly where I stand? 'Cause this world is forcing me to hold your hand. I'm just a girl living in captivity. Your rule of thumb makes me worrisome. I'm just a girl. What's my destiny? What I succumb to is making me numb. I'm just a girl. My apologies. What I've become is so burdensome. It's wonderful. The moment that I step outside, so many reasons for me to run and hide. Can't do the little things I love so dear, because it's all those little things that I fear. It's exactly right. Any person, any female out there watching this video who's ever gotten off the train or the bus, and gotten your keys and held them so that they didn't jingle in your hand on your way home to your house really fast in the dark. Any person who's ever taken a cab home or being driven home by an unfamiliar male and had them drop you off a few houses away and then didn't go up the walk to your door until they had driven off so they didn't see where you live. Any person, any woman who's ever found themselves in the company of a man in an apartment or room somewhere who knew that they couldn't back out now because they were sitting there and had to think about a reason to try to figure out how to extricate themselves before doing things they didn't want to do, or went ahead and did them because they just didn't want to start any trouble, okay? Then Just a Girl is your song, okay? I'm just a girl, what is it, lucky me, oh yeah, because they won't let me drive late at night. She lists all these stereotypes of all these things that we can't do. Not that we can't do them because they're illegal. We can't do them because we're probably going to get hurt. And our moms tell us that it's not safe to do. And our dads don't let us do it. And our husbands check up on us when we do it. And our boyfriends tell us not to do it. And we, this fear that we're all going to, like, be dead in a ditch somewhere, that every woman is going to end up like Natalie Holloway is a real thing. And I love this song because it points it out impeccably in all the glories of No Doubt in 1996. See, I'm mixing my stuff up because I'm an old lady. Nevertheless, awesome song. I can't tell you how much I love number 2. Like, I can't. Oh my God, I play this and oh my God, my whole soul comes out of my body and I sing along and it's awesome. Because number 2 is actually also from the First Wives Club. And his Sisters Are Doing It For Themselves by Aretha Franklin and Annie Lennox. Oh, absolutely beautiful. There was a time when they used to say, behind every great man, there had to be a great woman. But in these times of change, you know that it's no longer true. Because we're coming out of the kitchen. Because there's something we forgot to say to you. It's that sisters are doing it for themselves. Standing on their own 2 feet and ringing on their own bells. Holy cow. That's all. You don't even, it's not poetic. It's not, you don't have to decode the song. It's just saying it, It's just saying, hey, we're here. Maybe 50 years ago, they said, oh, there's a Betty Draper behind every Don Draper. If you've seen Mad Men, you know what I'm talking about. That there's some lady at home with an apron who's waiting to fix you a martini, which is fine. Okay. But, if she elects not to do that, if she elects to be the person who comes home to the martini because she's got the high-paying job, then that's awesome, and she used to be treated as such, right? And that's why I love that song. I can't express it enough. I think you hear me sounding like an idiot. I'm not speaking correctly because I love this song and I get excited, Oh dear, I don't know what I'm going to do when I get to number one if I'm this excited. Ladies and gentlemen, it is honorable mention time. I would like to give an honorable mention to Survivor by Destiny's Child. That song came out shortly after Independent Woman, and basically it says, I'm a survivor and I'm going to make it, and it lists a bunch of things that you can survive, and it talks about the strength of women, and it's awesome. Express Yourself by Madonna. That song came out when I was 12, and I remembered hearing those lyrics. Don't go for second best, baby. Put your love to the test. You've got to make him express how he feels. And baby, then you'll know your love is real. Long stem roses are the way to your heart, but he needs to start with your head. Satin sheets are very romantic. What happens when you're not in bed? You deserve the best in life, so if the time isn't right, then move on. Second best is never enough. You'll do much better, baby, on your own. Okay? And I can't tell you how many times I've fallen for second best. And I can't tell you how many times I didn't listen to Madonna. And I'm done with that. And that's why I thought honorable mention was appropriate this evening. Love Don't Cost a Thing by Jennifer Lopez. In 2001, when J-Lo came out with that next album, and she literally said, think you gotta keep me ice, you don't. Think I want to spend your cash, I won't. Even if you were broke, my love don't cost a thing. She was saying to that person, that man, she's like, listen, I appreciate the fact that you want me dripping in diamonds. No one's going to turn down a diamond. That's an awesome thing. Thank you. However, I have money enough to purchase my own diamonds. Hence, I'd actually like you to be genuine and loving to me, even if you had no dollars at all. But your heart to miss, think you ought to know, doesn't matter if you're balling out of control. All that matters is that you treat me right. Give me all the things I need that money can't buy. It's as simple as that, right? Thank you, J-Lo. I can't tell you. That's another one of those songs that I know it's like old and like people forgot about it. I gotta tell you, I play that song several times a week, especially when I'm walking home from work, and just fills me with glee. And I'd like to also give honorable mention to Girl on Fire by Alicia Keys, because that is the classic sense of female empowerment. And if you walk down the street and you hear her in your ears going, this girl is on fire, and knowing that is the anthem, that every day is our Olympics, and that we can get gold, silver, or bronze just simply by going out there and doing the best we can, and not to be held back because of our femininity, and just to go out there and forge ahead and be the human you need to be, regardless of gender, then that's awesome. Well, we've come to it. I put my list down because it's not like I need to look at it. I know the answer. So, ladies and gentlemen, how many people here are sitting here going, I have an idea, and she's not getting to it? How many people here are saying, wait, she's missing the... I know. Because for the first time in Top 10 Tuesday history, we have a tie. Ladies and gentlemen, the number one songs of all time that speak of female empowerment. I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. I Am Woman by Helen Reddy. If I had a mic, I'd drop it. Here's the trouble. You see, I could not for the life of me choose between them for number one spot. And I didn't know what to do there. And then I said, well, you can't make I Am Woman number one because I Will Survive is the anthem. And I said, but you can't make I Will Survive number one because I Am Woman is the anthem. And I wrestled with this for some time until I said, you idiot, make it a tie. Because if women could do whatever they want, and I am a woman, yay, and did whatever I wanted, and I made a tie. And so I don't think I need to tell you the awesomeness of this group of beautiful lyrics here that on the one hand say, at first I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong, and I learned how to get along. You know, I don't think you could quantify the beauty of yes, I am wise, but it's wisdom born of pain. Yes, I've paid the price, but look how much I've gained. If I had to, I could do anything. I am strong. I am invincible. I am woman. I don't think you can quantify a person saying, I used to cry, but now I hold my head up high, and you see me, somebody new. I'm not that chained up little person still in love with you. I don't think you can quantify, but I'm with a long, long way to go. I'm sorry, but I'm just an embryo with a long, long way to go until I make my brother understand. I am woman. What? Hear me roar. I know too much to go back and pretend, 'cause I've heard it all before, and I've been down there on the floor. No one's ever gonna keep me down again. I don't, I know I'm freaking out here. I know I look like a disaster, but holy cow. First of all, little known fact about I Will Survive to cheer me up here is that it was actually not supposed to be famous. Gloria Gaynor made a record, and that was the B-side, and the Studio 54 guy, because you used to get your song played at 54 so that they'd like it and radios would play it, and people would dance to it, and if they liked it, it would be famous, and the guy played side B by accident, and everyone started to boogie, and I Will Survive is the #1 party song of all time. And I Am Woman, I don't know that I have a tremendous story about it. It just is, and so that's why I had to make this. I had to make this list have two, because I could not choose between the two of them, and I don't know that I have to. And I think that's the point of female empowerment, is that technically, I think that all of our lives are being made to say we have no choice in the matter. We have no choice in the matter. We actually do have choices. We have lots of choices as women. We just don't have ones that we like. And so, and often, if there's two things that you can choose to do, like I did with the two songs, then you can choose them both. You want to choose a career, choose a career. You want to choose a family, choose a family. Choose to spend your time devoting your all to each thing as you're in it. When you're with your children, you are a mother. When you're at your job, you are a worker. When you're by yourself, you're by yourself. And I think it starts with boundaries, and that's something that I struggle with on a daily basis. And every time I struggle with those things, I think of the simple lyric, even when I'm a mess, I still put on a vest with an S on my chest. Or, but I'm still an embryo with a long, long way to go. Or, what is it? Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just talking out of my butt here. So I'm going to end this video because I've officially gone wah, 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 so much that I've talked even myself in circles. So I am going to sign off now. And I'm going to encourage all the women out there to play these songs, because you will find yourself a hell of a lot more empowered after you listen to them. Even just the sound of them fills me with haha. And gentlemen, I think that if you played these songs, you'll learn a little bit. And I think you will have a new appreciation for us. And I hope that this has been both entertaining, stimulating, and I hope that it has been informative. So, yeah. I am woman. Watch me make a video. All right. Well, in any case, I'm going to see you guys later this week. It might not be until Self-Care Sundays, but I'm going to see what I can do about my February break vlog. So stay tuned for that. And I will catch you on the comments. If you haven't done it already, subscribe, like, leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about all this. I've said a lot tonight. So I'm done talking. It's time for you. So for Linda's World, this is me saying, I am Linda. Hear me roar.